The mover accidentally dropped a box of silver coins onto the ground. The boss nearby was about to scold the careless mover. A woman passing by stopped the boss. The woman, just by the sound of the box hitting the ground, knew that more than half of the coins inside were actually sand, so it wasn't worth it for the boss to hit the mover. The moving boss was extremely shocked. He quickly opened the box to check, and the woman was indeed right. The moving boss wanted to find the woman to thank her, but the woman had already disappeared into the crowd. At that moment, the boss didn't know that the woman was actually a top identification master hired by the state. In her era, the country had not yet invented paper money. All trade and exchanges depended on silver coins for payment. This also led to counterfeit coins flooding everywhere, so the country highly valued talents who could identify fake coins. That day, the woman demonstrated her skill in the royal palace. She just listened casually and could immediately tell that among 5,000 silver coins, there were exactly 138 counterfeits. This wasn't some superpower, but a unique gift that only the woman had. Just then, a richly dressed woman arrived. It turned out she was the queen of the country. The queen greatly admired the woman's talent, so she asked the woman what kind of reward she wanted. The woman didn't ask for money or jewels. Instead, she made a very simple request. She wanted to go home to visit the grandfather she hadn't seen in 15 years. As it turned out, 15 years ago, the woman had gotten lost when she was a child. Later, the traveling queen happened to find her. At that time, the girl was too young to clearly explain where her family was. Now, the woman was capable of searching for her family. The queen granted the woman's request, so the woman set out on her journey home. Not long after, the woman returned to her hometown. But as soon as she got off the boat, she saw a boss bullying a mover. After helping the mover, she was about to head home. But suddenly, a man grabbed her. The woman recognized immediately that the man before her was her real uncle. But the uncle didn't recognize who she was. Instead, he mistook her for someone else. He insisted on dragging her to a treasure identifying competition. The woman found it very strange, so she didn't immediately tell her uncle the truth. Instead, she followed her uncle to the competition. The uncle handed an invitation letter for the competition to the woman. He sincerely asked the woman to make sure to win the competition. Then he left. The woman, full of doubts, walked into the competition venue. Only then did she hear the answer from the people around. It turned out that after the woman left home, her grandfather's health got worse and worse. Although he was the head of the family, after the woman was gone, he no longer had any grandson or granddaughter. In order to choose the heir after the grandfather's death, the family held an identification competition within the clan. The one who won first place would be the future family head, but the grandfather didn't want to give the property to someone else. He wanted to wait for his lost granddaughter to return, so the grandfather invited from outside a treasure-identifying master to pretend as a contestant, and by coincidence, they found the woman. The woman made up her mind to help her grandfather protect the family property. The competition was about to begin. At the scene, there were not only many contestants, but also respected elders of the family as judges. Among them was the woman's grandfather. Just at that moment, the uncle rushed in to tell the grandfather that he had found the wrong person. It turned out the treasure-identifying master they were looking for couldn't come to the event because of an accident. The uncle was convinced the woman was a fraud. He was about to drive the woman away, but the grandfather stopped him. He didn't know why, but he felt the woman before him was very familiar, so he let the woman stay. The woman also noticed her grandfather. She wanted to reveal herself to him, but she knew it wasn't the right occasion. She decided to wait until she won the competition before telling him the truth. Soon after, the competition officially began. The content of the first round was to identify the silver coins in a wooden box by sound. Whoever's result had the smallest margin of error would win first place. The contestants went up one after another to try, but their errors were always around 80 coins. Their identification skills were very average. Just then, a cute girl went on stage to challenge. She slapped the table hard. The wooden box instantly bounced into the air. The girl used her skill to shake the box in mid-air. The sound of the coins all reached her ears. In no time, the girl confidently gave her answer. The judge carefully compared the girl's answer. He announced that the girl's margin of error was 20 coins. Everyone was extremely surprised. No one expected such a little girl to be so skilled. Only two people stayed calm. One was the woman, who could tell at a glance the girl was too impulsive, and the other was the next contestant, Smith. Smith was publicly recognized as the city's identification genius. His technique was even more advanced than the girl's. Under his control, the wooden box actually spun in the air. In just 1 minute, Smith wrote down his answer. The judge was shocked. He excitedly announced that Smith's error was only 5 coins. Everyone's eyes widened instantly. Smith had broken the city record of 10 coins error. Everyone was certain Smith would be the champion of this competition. The grandfather was also extremely nervous. Was his property really going to be taken away by someone else? But the woman calmly sipped her tea on the side. In her eyes, Smith's level was just barely passing. The crowd immediately mocked the woman for boasting. The woman leisurely walked to the front. She lightly tapped the wooden box with her finger and instantly came up with the answer. The judge looked at the answer the woman wrote down. He was trembling and couldn't say a word. Everyone thought the woman's result was too poor, but the judge stuttered loudly. "The woman's answer is completely correct."